Horses are majestic, powerful creatures. But let's be honest, there's no shortage of wild stories about them. You've probably heard things like, horses only sleep standing up, or they can't see colors. Sounds believable, right? But are they true? The world of horses is filled with myths that have been passed down for ages, some of them downright strange, and others surprisingly convincing. In this video, we'll dive into 8 of the most common horse myths you probably still believe. Newborn foals will be rejected if humans touch them. There's a long-standing belief that if a human touches a newborn foal, the mother will reject it. This myth has been passed around for years, but it doesn't hold up to what we know about horse behavior. A mare's bond with her foal is deeply ingrained in her instincts, and it takes much more than a trace of human scent to disrupt that connection. Mares rely on a mix of sight, sound, and scent to recognize their foals. While scent plays a role, it's not the sole factor in how they bond. A mother horse's protective and nurturing behavior is driven by powerful instincts developed over thousands of years. In most cases, this bond is so strong that human interaction poses no threat to it. This misconception likely comes from confusion with wildlife behavior. In some wild animals, human interference can indeed cause mothers to abandon their young. But domesticated horses live in a completely different environment. They're used to humans, and they often associate us with safety and care. For domesticated mares, a brief touch or interaction with their newborn is not something to fear. It's simply part of life. In fact, responsible handling of foals can have long-term benefits. Early contact helps young horses become accustomed to humans, which makes them more cooperative and confident as they grow. Foals that are gently socialized early on are less likely to develop fear or anxiety around people. This is especially important for horses that will spend their lives working closely with humans. That said, handling newborn foals does require care. The first hours of a foal's life are critical. They need to nurse, bond with their mother, and rest. Too much interference or rough handling could stress the mare or disrupt this natural process. When approached calmly and respectfully, however, human touch is not only safe but can be a valuable part of raising a well-adjusted horse. Horses are completely colorblind. It's often said that horses are colorblind, perceiving the world only in shades of gray. This myth has persisted for years, but science tells a much more colorful story. Horses can, in fact, see colors, just not in the same way humans do. Horses have dichromatic vision, meaning their eyes are equipped to detect 2 primary color spectrums, blue and green. What they struggle with, however, is distinguishing red and colors in the red spectrum, such as orange and pink, which appear muted or even grayish to them. This is because horses lack the red-sensitive cones in their retinas that humans use to see a full spectrum of colors. But why does this matter? Understanding a horse's color vision is more than just an interesting fact. It's essential knowledge for anyone working with them. For example, objects or obstacles that are red might not stand out to a horse as they would to us. This means equestrians designing training courses or jumps should consider using contrasting colors like blue and white, which horses can see more clearly. Similarly, equipment or materials in a horse's environment might need to be chosen with their unique vision in mind to avoid confusion or stress. Their color perception is also thought to influence their behavior. A horse may react differently to a particular environment or object based on how it appears to them. A bright red fence post, for example, might look more like a dull gray, making it harder for the horse to notice or gauge its significance. It's important to remember that while their color vision is more limited than ours, horses compensate with exceptional motion detection and a wide field of vision, about 340 degrees, thanks to the placement of their eyes. This gives them an advantage in spotting predators or other threats, even if those objects don't appear vividly colored. Horses only sleep standing up. It's a common belief that horses sleep exclusively standing up. While it's true that these incredible animals have a unique ability to doze upright, the idea that they never lie down to rest is far from accurate. In fact, lying down is absolutely essential for a horse's health and well-being. Horses have a fascinating biological mechanism called the stay apparatus, which allows them to lock their leg muscles and relax without collapsing. This remarkable adaptation enables them to take short naps while standing, a skill that evolved to help them remain alert to predators in the wild. However, this light standing sleep only scratches the surface of their rest needs. To achieve deep, restorative sleep, horses must lie down. Just like humans, they need to enter REM, rapid eye movement, sleep, a stage where the brain processes information and the body fully relaxes. Without this critical phase of sleep, horses can suffer from sleep deprivation, leading to physical and behavioral issues such as fatigue, irritability, or even stumbling while standing. That said, horses don't lie down as frequently as other animals. They're naturally cautious creatures, and lying down makes them vulnerable. This is why they only rest in this way when they feel completely safe. In group settings, for instance, one horse might stay standing as a lookout while others lie down. For caretakers, providing a secure, comfortable environment where horses feel safe enough to rest is crucial for their overall health. A horse that isn't lying down to sleep may be signaling discomfort or stress. Poor stall conditions, herd dynamics, or even health issues like joint pain can discourage a horse from lying down. This makes it vital for horse owners to pay attention to their horses' resting habits and ensure their living spaces are clean, spacious, and free from hazards. Horses primarily use scent to recognize humans. It's easy to assume that horses, like dogs, rely mostly on scent to recognize people. But this myth doesn't reflect the full picture of how these remarkable animals interacted with their world. While a horse's sense of smell is indeed strong and plays a role in their interactions, it's far from their only, or even their primary, means of recognizing individuals. Horses are incredibly perceptive animals, and they use a combination of sensory inputs to identify humans and other horses. Visual cues, such as body shape, movement patterns, and even facial features, are crucial. Horses have excellent long-distance vision and a remarkable ability to detect subtle differences in how individuals move, making sight one of their primary recognition tools. In addition to their sharp eyesight, horses are keen listeners. Their ears can swivel nearly 180 degrees to pick up sounds from various directions, and they can remember distinct voices or the sound of footsteps. Combined with their strong memory, horses can associate these auditory signals with specific individuals, reinforcing their recognition. That said, scent does play a part. Horses have a specialized organ called the vomeronasal organ, or Jacobson's organ, which helps them process pheromones and other scents. This is why you'll often see a horse sniffing someone or something they're curious about. However, scent is typically just one piece of the puzzle rather than the sole factor in how they recognize humans. Perhaps most fascinating is how all these senses work together to create a mental profile of the people and animals in a horse's life. Studies have shown that horses can remember individuals for years, even after long periods of separation. This highlights the importance of consistent positive interactions when working with horses. If a person approaches them with calmness and respect, the horse will remember and respond accordingly, building trust over time. Horseshoes cause discomfort to horses. There's a persistent myth that horseshoes are uncomfortable or even painful for horses. While it's easy to imagine that having metal nailed to your feet might hurt, the reality is much different. When applied correctly by a skilled farrier, horseshoes are not only painless but also highly beneficial for the horse. A horse's hooves are made of keratin, the same material as human fingernails and hair, and they don't contain nerve endings in the outer wall where the horseshoe nails are attached. This means the process of shoeing, when done properly, doesn't hurt the horse at all. The nails are carefully driven into the insensitive part of the hoof, leaving the sensitive inner structures untouched. But why do horses need shoes in the first place? Horseshoes provide critical protection, support, and traction for the hooves, especially for horses that regularly work on hard or uneven surfaces. In the wild, a horse's hooves naturally wear down from constant movement over varied terrain. Domesticated horses, however, often encounter environments their hooves aren't naturally adapted for, such as concrete, gravel, or wet and slippery pastures. Shoes act as a buffer, reducing wear and tear while preventing injuries like cracks or bruises. Without proper hoof care, problems like lameness, abscesses, and structural damage can develop. Regular shoeing, combined with routine trimming, ensures that the hooves remain balanced and healthy. It's also worth noting that not all horses need shoes. Some horses with strong, healthy hooves and lighter workloads can thrive barefoot, provided their hooves are trimmed and maintained regularly. Of course, improperly fitted shoes or neglecting hoof care can lead to discomfort, but this is due to poor management, not the shoes themselves. A skilled farrier will evaluate each horse's specific needs, ensuring that the shoes fit snugly and provide the correct level of support. Black horses turn white with age. There's a popular myth that black horses eventually turn white as they grow older. While it's true that some horses experience coat color changes over time, this transformation is far from universal and is rooted in genetics rather than age alone. The process of graying is the key factor behind this myth. Certain horses carry a genetic trait called the gray gene, which gradually lightens their coat colors as they age. A foal with a black or dark-colored coat may develop lighter patches over the years, eventually becoming a stunning silvery gray or white. However, not all black horses carry this genetic trait. Many remain their original dark color for their entire lives, defying the myth that black horses always turn white. Graying is most commonly observed in breeds like Lipizzaners and Andalusians, where the gray gene is prevalent. By contrast, other breeds, such as Friesians or thoroughbreds, typically lack this gene, which is why black horses in these breeds are unlikely to gray with age. It's also worth noting that coat color changes in horses can sometimes be influenced by other factors, such as sun exposure or nutrition. For instance, a black horse's coat might fade to a reddish or brownish tint in summer due to prolonged sunlight, but this is a temporary change and doesn't indicate a permanent shift to white. Genetics aside, the idea that black horses inevitably turn white has contributed to a certain mystique around them. In folklore and literature, the transformation of a dark horse into a white one has been symbolic of purity, wisdom, or aging gracefully. However, in reality, a horse's coat color is simply part of its genetic makeup and doesn't follow a universal rule. Horses naturally know how to jump. It's a common belief that horses are born with an instinctual ability to jump over obstacles, but this myth couldn't be further from the truth. While horses are naturally athletic and capable of quick movements, the refined skill of jumping, as seen in equestrian sports, requires careful, consistent training rather than innate knowledge. In the wild, horses don't jump over fences or hurdles the way they do in shows or competitions. Instead, their instincts are focused on survival, such as fleeing predators or navigating rough terrain. They might jump over logs or ditches out of necessity, but these are natural responses to immediate threats, not the controlled, measured leaps required in equestrian disciplines. The process of teaching a horse to jump safely and effectively involves progressive training. It starts with introducing the horse to small, low obstacles and gradually increasing the height and complexity as the horse builds confidence and skill. This training must be done thoughtfully and with patience, focusing on the horse's comfort and safety. A rushed or poorly executed training session can lead to injury or create negative associations with jumping. Experienced trainers play a vital role in guiding the horse through this process. They help develop the horse's jumping technique, teach proper posture, and ensure the horse learns to assess each obstacle safely. The goal is to create a horse that not only understands how to jump, but does so with confidence and precision. Horses can't vomit. It's not a myth, but a fascinating physiological reality. Horses cannot vomit. Unlike humans and many other animals, horses have a unique digestive system that prevents them from throwing up. This limitation is due to the strong band of muscles at the junction between their esophagus and stomach, which creates a one-way valve that is incredibly effective at stopping any reverse movement of food. This anatomical feature is crucial for the horse's digestion process, but it also presents challenges when it comes to their health. Without the ability to vomit, horses cannot expel harmful toxins or undigested food from their stomachs the way we can. This makes them highly susceptible to certain digestive issues, such as colic, which can be caused by a buildup of gas, food, or fluid in the intestines. Because of this, horse owners must take extra care with feeding practices and overall digestive health. Overfeeding, rapid changes in diet, or feeding large amounts of rich, heavy food can overwhelm the horse's digestive system, leading to discomfort or even more serious complications. Regular small meals of high-quality forage are essential to maintaining a horse's health, as they prevent digestive upset and keep the system running smoothly. So there you have it, 8 horse myths you still believe, and the truth. If you enjoyed this video, you will definitely want to check 12 things you didn't know about the American quarter horse.